Hello, welcome back to the Villa View. It's time for a match preview show in association with Luke Roper. If you stay tuned, we'll be giving you a chance to win a piece of their performance range tonight, so make sure you're watching all the way to the end. As you can see, not just Dolan and myself tonight, we've got the main man, the guy who, just to be fair, every time we have him on, he's smashed it even further. It's Nathan Dawe with us tonight, big Villa fan, absolutely smashing his career at the moment. Nathan, how are you?
I'm all right. Thank you for that lovely talk up.
Oh,
I'm good. How are you two boys? It's been a long time.
Good, man. Nice to have you on after a win.
Pretty good.
Yeah, because let's face it, in the last month or so, there hasn't been too many wins, so we've picked a good one to get you on. Let's start with your career then, Nathan, at the moment. As I say, even since the last time we had you on, it felt like you were absolutely doing bits, and now it's going even further. You've got a new single out tomorrow, Way Too Long. We want to try and get the pre-orders up on iTunes tonight, don't we? So tell everyone a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's just a real feel-good summer tune, and anyone that's heard it already, like the team and my friends and family, are just like, it's your best one, it's amazing, and it just makes everyone smile because it's such a feel-good vibe. So yeah, it's out at midnight, and if any fellow Villa fans after this can jump on iTunes and pre-order it for 59p, it will massively help. So yeah, iTunes, Nathan Dawe, Way Too Long, 59p, grab it, and it will really help a fellow villain. But it's out at midnight, and yeah, everyone loves it, and I think it's going to get received really well. So I'm really excited for it to drop.
Yeah, I went in big with the 59p earlier and got it myself. Dolan, you gonna break the bank?
Man, I like Anne-Marie. She's got a great voice. She's got a great voice, Anne-Marie. So I've met her once at a friend's party, and she's part of the Rudimental crew, so one of my pals looks after them, so she's really cool and really lovely girl, and a great vocal as well. So yeah, you've had some great vocalists: Salah Henderson, Anne-Marie. Yeah, man, you've picked up some
Little
great,
Mix as well.
Little Mix, yeah, some great female. Yeah, totally, man. So yeah, I mean, buzzing for it. So like I say, you just seem to get better and better, and I think next time we're in the away end, they'll definitely know who you are this time, mate, after getting away.
Fingers crossed. But no, yeah, it's been a mad. I can't think when the last time I was meant to be on, but it has been a mad kind of 12 months. And as bad as it's been being in the pandemic and not being able to watch the footy, I've managed to keep myself busy and just amazing. And obviously being nominated for the Brit Award is just made. Well. Yeah, it was just kind of a bit of a something nice to receive at the end of such a mad year, to be like, well done. It's kind of, we noticed that you worked hard and here you go. So yeah, it's been a mad year, but I just can't wait to get back to being down the Villa, if I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah, we're all exactly the same, and it's worth saying that Dolan said he would buy the single to support Anne-Marie, but that he didn't say anything about supporting you. And also worth saying that you named all the great people that you've worked with, but you didn't talk about Dirty Blue Nose JK. We don't talk about him on this show who you worked with as well.
No, he's banned on this show.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about him. I mean, to be fair, you've took advantage of lockdown, and really, Nathan, Villa have as well. It's been a good time, even though none of us have been in the ground generally. It's been a great time to be a Villa fan through a lockdown.
Yeah, I think, look, as much as we're all missing it, we can't say that we've had it hard when it comes to actually watching our team. I think, imagine going through the relegation battle from your bedroom or your front room. It would be horrible, but it's actually enjoyable. You're looking forward to the weekends now because you're going into every game. All right, maybe not up until very recently, but you're going into every game thinking, well, how many are we going to win by today then? And that for me during the peak of lockdown was just a release of taking you out of the real world for a bit and just enjoying the football, because it was so exciting. And I just hope when we do get back in the ground, it can continue, because I know at times Villa Park, we can all agree, can be very toxic. And I think some of the games we've won this season, we might not have because we didn't start the best or whatever, or even with Fulham, going a goal down. Imagine that, with a full ground. I don't know how that would have turned out, but no, fingers crossed it continues when the fans are back.
Yeah, I mean, you hope that everyone's just been away for so long that everyone's just going to embrace it and be so positive. I mean, there should be 10,000 in for the last home game of the season against Chelsea. I mean, but really, Dolan, we're all waiting for it to be full again and everyone to be allowed to go, aren't we?
Yeah, and it's weird because, you think of players like Matty Cash and Reyes and Watkins, all of the new recruits. You kind of feel like they've been at Villa for so long because we've all welcomed them and they've had such a great season. But we've never seen them play in the flesh. We've never seen them at Villa Park, and they're if it's going to up their game. And I think there's been pros and cons, as Nathan said. There's been pros and cons of not having fans, and in the sense that Fulham on Sunday we would have got restless. It's not been an easy last sort of four or 5 weeks. You look at Spurs at home, Brighton away, and there's just been some games where it's been pretty turgid, and I think with fans it might have got a little bit edgy, but listen, I think everyone next season is just going to be delighted to be back in the stadium, delighted to be hanging out with their mates again, delighted kind of that Saturday feeling when you get up at 8-9 o'clock and straight to the ground, straight to the pub, and just having that day out with your mates that it's just so missed. Because let's be honest, watching football on your own, or watching football with a mate in your front room, it's just not the same. It's not the same. And going to football for me, it's as much about seeing your mates having a day out as it is going to the game. So yeah, really miss it, mate. And hopefully we're not too far away now.
Yeah, Nathan, it was Fulham on Sunday. We managed to get 3 points, as you say. At one point, it wasn't looking too great. It was Trezeguet and Keenan Davis that came on and turned the game. I mean, I don't think many people would have called that beforehand, but it was great to see players making an impact from the bench, because there hasn't actually been a lot of that this season from Villa.
Yeah, there's that, but I'm also impressed that we changed it quite early into the game compared to what we're used to. I think the changes obviously paid off, and they were the right changes. I'm a massive fan of Keenan Davis. I don't think everyone is, but I mean, I am. But I think he just adds just a bit more strength and bullies defenders a bit more. And when we kind of went into that type of 4-4-2 formation when he came on, I just thought we looked so much better. And even Ramsey in the middle, just completely it just turned the game on its head. And I mean, the goal, when Keenan's chased down that defender relentlessly and nicked it off him, and then to put that cross in, it's just brilliant. And I tweeted at the time a little bit excited. I feel like he deserves a start, but I genuinely think maybe he deserves a start in one of these next coming games, because he does add that something different. I'm not saying drop Ollie for him, but I think we could work a way of playing them both and just seeing what happens. Because when them subs were made, we were just a completely different team. And I also want to just say a massive well done to Mings, because the way he kind of picked himself up and the team after such a dreadful mistake is what leaders do. And it was just amazing for him to do that. And I'm so glad we got the win for him, really, in the end, because I think he would have had a lot of stick and got slaughtered if we had lost that game or even drawn. So I'm just glad we got the 3 points and we managed to put it out of the bag, because we haven't done that going a goal behind this season. So it's good to see a bit of character.
No, it was the first time since Watford at home in January 2020. I think it was the first time we've come from behind and won a game. So it was a long, long time ago now. So it was great to see us kind of get rid of that monkey off our back. Dolan, over the last few weeks, people have been calling for us to do something different and change something. And really, I'm surprised it has taken so long for him to do something. But it was quite a drastic change for Smith, because he likes to play his set formation. He doesn't like to really deviate away from that. But going 4-4-2 in the middle of the second half, it did change things for us. Do you think there's any chance of him doing the same thing on Saturday against Liverpool? Because I don't really.
Touching on Nathan's point about starting Davis, you can start Davis because Watkins can play out wide, but then for me, you have to start Trezeguet after Sunday, and you can't really drop Traore, because I thought he can turn a game on its head again. I thought his assist for Watkins was exactly what he does, and it was it sealed the game. But I don't know. There's part of me that thinks and I know it was an awful mistake, but there's part of me thinks that Mings mistake really woke us up, because that game for me was heading for a nil. It had 0-0 written over it. They weren't doing anything particularly. They didn't really cause any threat. I didn't even think they played good football. I thought they looked really nervous. And so did we. Two teams on a bad run of form. So I think that Mings mistake really woke us up. And again, Ramsey coming on, and I don't think he's quite right to start. I think when he comes on to games, I think that's when we see. That's what we see as him like against Arsenal when he came on at home. I thought he was sensational. Wolves, he was sensational. And then I thought he was brilliant on Sunday. He just sort of stopped. He just sort of completely stopped their midfield because they were playing straight through us. Like your man, is it Harrison? What's his name? In the middle of the park for Fulham.
Harrison Reid.
He had the freedom of Villa Park. He was just spraying balls left, right, and centre. And I thought Ramsey came on and just completely put a stop to that. And Trezeguet's work rate was unbelievable. And Keenan, listen, I've been not critical of him. I've just been sort of telling it how it is. He doesn't score goals. He's not a goal scorer. But I tell you what, if he can bring that kind of impact to a game and change a game like with his pressing, his strength, his pace, and to pick out a pass for Trez, the back post, you don't need goals if you can do that, because he was incredible for those 15 to 20 minutes. So big respect for Keenan. He was sensational.
Yeah, let's play Dean Smith for a second, Nathan, because this is how I think Villa could actually go and get something from the game. And let's say that he won't move away from playing with the front three. He's not going to go 4-4-2. If you're playing Keenan up top on his own, I think Liverpool at centre-half can be got out this season without Van Dijk at Gomez. So straight away, I think you've got an option there, someone that's really going to bully their centre-backs. Trezeguet on the right, working hard, doing what he does. But I think actually shifting Watkins out to the left for this game and him getting in between the right centre-back and Trent Alexander-Arnold, who we saw the other night in the Champions League, can be got at. I think that's a pathway for Villa to perhaps get something and perhaps even go on and win the game there, I would say. That makes life difficult for Liverpool.
I agree. I think Traore has been brilliant. So I definitely want to fit him somewhere in the mix. But Trez has got to start, in my opinion. I think he was unfairly left out of the team earlier in the season. I can't remember quite who was injured and come back and took his place.
He got injured and he just couldn't get back in, Trez, because Traore just couldn't get back in.
So after the last time game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like when he was back, though, he deserved to be back in, because I think he was playing amazing. And the fact that he's come and done what he did last week tells me he's got to start. But I would like to start with Davis, but if we're talking about Dean Smith, he's not going to, in my opinion. He's going to stick with probably the same formation, definitely, as the Fulham game, and you'll probably bring Trezeguet in from the off. But
Jack's probably going to be back as well for this game. So does Jack come in? Does he play in behind Watkins? Maybe beginning at least. I think
Jack could be back.
No, you don't think so? I think
I've got no idea, but I wouldn't have thought so.
No idea.
We don't know until there's a press conference, do we? And even when there is a press conference, he then goes and gets injured the day before the game anyway. So
we'll wait an hour. We'll find out an hour before.
I'm just going to assume he's not playing nowadays. I think that's going to be my stock thing to do. I mean, I think the club between a rock and a hard place, really, with what they do with announcing things, because I don't think they can win either way now. At the moment, I thought they played it perfectly last week. It was just unfortunate that he got injured the last training session before the game. Don, do you like the sound of that front three that I came up with?
I wasn't listening. What did you say again?
You've already forgotten it, so that's great. Great listening from you. Davis up front, Trez on the right, and then Watkins playing on the left, getting in between the right centre back and Alexander-Arnold, because he can be got out.
No. I think we bring in Trez. We keep Watkins up top. We keep McGinn higher up the pitch, closer to Watkins. I thought he was brilliant on Sunday. John McGinn back to his best, and we keep Troy on the right. And I think we do what we did with we bring on Davis if we need to in the last 15, 20 minutes, because as you say, their back four, especially their two centre halves, can be got at. But I just don't think he's got the confidence to start. If he does start, I think we just go all out 4-4-2, because that's what suits him. I think that the link up between him and Watkins, I think he needs somebody alongside him. I think he can get isolated up there on his own. A couple of balls come up, they don't stick, they bounce off him. He lacks a bit of confidence. I think he needs someone up there close to him. But for me, no, I think we keep it as is. We probably drop El Ghazi, bring in Trezeguet, and then I think we'll see. I mean, for me, Sanson maybe would be the one that you maybe take off. I thought he wasn't.
I was going to say, what did you think of Sanson? Because I wasn't impressed against Fulham.
Just thought the game passed him by a little bit. I just thought he looked a little bit leggy, a little bit rusty. I just think coming into the league's January's been a bit of a culture shock for him.
It's early days. It's very much early days.
It's early days, and I think he just needs a pre-season under his belt. It may sound
There's
silly,
definitely
but
a player there.
Oh yeah,
it's nice technique. Nice technique.
Yeah. I think you look at someone like Louise, and I mean, you look at half that score from last season, and how much they've stepped up. I think he's there's definitely, as you say, there's definitely a player in there. But I would probably bring in Nakamba on Saturday. Have Nakamba and Louise sitting with McGinn further up top. Start Trezeguet, Traore, and Watkins, and the back five, the back four, and the keeper stay the same.
I just hope we attack. I don't want to sit back.
Well, I
think. But the thing is with Liverpool, I mean, they have nothing to play for in the league. I think top four's finished. Can't see any of those top five.
They can still get top four. They can still get top four.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I just can't see Leicester. I can't see United. I can't see Chelsea, and you can't see West Ham really at the minute.
Not finishing below them. That's fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they're gonna. I hope they're gonna have one eye on Madrid on next Wednesday night, because they go full against us, and a few of their players pull up with injury. Then for me, they're one shot at silverware, and the one shot to redeem the season's finished. You look at that team. They started against Fulham. That team they started against Fulham, and Fulham beat them 1-0, was weaker than the team that they played against our under 18s. They had Scary Jones. So I would hope the Klopp's got one eye on them, because he has to win on Wednesday. They have to win on Wednesday. They just have to. It'll be a Barcelona part 2 when they pull off that phenomenal victory against Barca. So I would hope that he's gonna rest one or two, but who knows? Their home record's been so appalling that I think they just need to stop that run at home and then try and pick up a win. But it's still a tough game, regardless of what team they put out.
Yeah, Nathan. I mean, Liverpool haven't won at home since the 16th of December in the league, so we may as well congratulate them on the 3 points now against Villa, because we all know how things go. I mean, they haven't scored for their last 3 home games in the league either, so it's just everything's pointing towards a Liverpool win if you're a Villa fan.
It is. I think if Jack is back, which I'm not hopeful on, but if he is, I think it's going to give everyone such a boost. You never know what might happen. But even without, I think if we show the kind of second half display, last 25 minutes display that we played against Fulham, then we've got every chance. And I think when we obviously thrashed Liverpool at the start of the season, I think we all thought they're going to get their own back at Anfield. But now it's actually, the season's gone the way it's gone. We can do the double. And I don't know when you'll probably know the stats between you, but the last time we did them twice.
Has it even happened?
I was going to say, has it ever happened? Yeah. I don't think it's happened in my lifetime.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Even under O'Neill, we were still getting pumped 4s and 5s at their place. So I don't think. I think you have to go way back in time.
I'm quietly confident.
Broken records. This season's been a season where they've broken records. You look at the clean sheet records there to be broken. It's our highest point tally in the Premier League since 2009-10. So this team's been breaking little records. We did the double against Arsenal for the first time since 91, maybe, I think it was. So you never say never. And I think they'll be buzzing after Sunday to kind of get that monkey off the back as well. Like the fact that they won a game without Jack and we came from behind, which is the first time that we've done that this season as well. So
yeah, I think if we get some sort of result will really just kick us off, I reckon, for the end of the season, and we can go on a little bit of a run again. Because let's be honest, in recent weeks it's not been brilliant, and it would be nice to just finish the season strong and not just waste all that hard work.
I totally agree, mate. And I don't want to, as you say, I don't want to end the season on a low note, because it's been such a great season. It's been such a brilliant season. And I just want to end the season on a high. It's a tough run. And after Liverpool, you've got City. We've got to play Everton twice. We've got to play United. We've got to play
Spurs away.
United at home. I've said that. Chelsea at home. It's a tough last 9 games.
Would you take a definite top half finish now if it was offered?
Yeah. 10th. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I called 12th at the start of the season, but yeah, I just want to finish ahead of Leeds and ahead of Arsenal.
That's what I want. That's all I want as well. I don't know why. I mean, I just want to beat Leeds because they've got this weird rivalry. But I feel like finishing ahead of Arsenal, as crap as they are, it's good progress to finish above a side like that, and also it kind of proves Emi Martinez right for saying Villa with the bigger club as well and finishing above. Because I actually think, Nathan, Villa have stabilised in the Premier League now. I think obviously last season was touch and go, but now we are a stable Premier League club again. We've got ambitious owners who will spend money. The next step is the exciting one for the club, and obviously I think the fans coming back in next season. I think next season could be a really, really special season for the football club because they will spend money in the summer.
I really hope what you just said doesn't turn into a meme next year.
Yeah. No, COVID part 100. No fans back in. Relegated.
I agree. It feels great now, and I definitely agree that we are a stabilised club in the Premier League, and hopefully some of these Martin O'Neill days can come back because there's a few people that are Villa fans now that never got to experience that, and they've only ever known bad times. And I think, it would just be nice to be knocking around them, top 7, top 6, European spots, and just having fun all season and having a roller coaster at the top rather than at the bottom. And I agree. I think a couple more signings just to really solidify the squad, and it's going to be an exciting year. It really is.
Who would you like to see in next season? Any players that sort of we touched on it last week. I'm obviously well up for seeing Tammy back, but who would you like to see come in if you could pick a few? See,
having Tammy back, would you play him and Ollie?
Yeah, because you could. For me, that Watkins gives us that extra presence on the flanks, which we don't have. It gives that extra option.
Yeah, I think for me, I would like to see Tom Kearney in the Villa shirt.
He's barely played for Fulham.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
I do. Nowhere near it. And we've got bad memories of Tom Kearney as well.
I know he's not been the kindest to us, but I still think that a player that I've always wanted him at the Villa, like always. And I genuinely think, all right, he might turn out to be a bit of a bit part player, but I think he adds something to the squad. But obviously, Tammy, for me, I think he wants to play football and prove people wrong. And I think it might be a bit of a Emi Martinez situation where if he comes to Villa like properly this time, he's going to want to prove Chelsea wrong so much, the same way Emi has with Arsenal. And I think it would really, and obviously he gets on with all the lads that are there already. So for me, it's solidifying the strike force. It'd be good to get like a bit of a world class like winger that we can just rely on week in, week out. But I'm not really thinking of any names straight to my head, but I know there's been a couple like tossed around.
I mean, to be fair, I'm going to be honest. Your Tom Kearney shout, and there'll be a few people listening thinking, "I hope he doesn't win that Brit Award anymore." That's an awful shout. Surely, come on, Nathan, get some ambition. We've got to be aiming higher than Tom Kearney.
True. I'm still stuck in the Steve Bruce days.
We're not in the Championship anymore, Nathan. We're top 10 in the Prem now, mate.
You can't say though, like on his day when I've seen him, like personally for me. I think there is a quality player there, but like I'm not gonna persuade you guys because clearly you don't.
We can edit that bit out after we go off air.
This ain't live, is it?
I didn't actually tell you before you came on that we are actually live.
For me, like I say, when I have seen him on his day, I've only ever seen him play well when I watch him, and I'm thinking maybe there's a place for him on the bench to keep it warm. But I just want a few more options off the bench because I feel like
we need to change things up. We need a bigger squad.
Squads then still,
It's the same subs. It's the same subs every week, and like to have a few more on there would be great.
I'd go out for Pedro Neto at Wolves. I think he's unbelievable. I think he's incredible.
They would not sell him to us. No,
I know they won't. But he is.
They'll sell him probably, but he won't be to us.
Yeah. Sarr at Watford. He's been talked about, but I don't know again if he's really. But yeah, we definitely need. We're going
to be going bigger. We're going to be going.
We need two wingers. We need two wingers and a striker, and we need cover at left back and cover at right back. I think that's where we need to be looking at, and maybe another centre half.
We won't be messing around with these players from Watford and Fulham that you two are talking about. I don't think. I think we'll go big in the summer, from what I've heard. But Nathan, what we have had that's good in the last few weeks, well, all season really. In the last week or so, Ezri Konsa has been tied down to a long-term contract. There's rumours that Cash and Louise are next. We've had Mings, Jack, and McGinn all tied up in the last 12 months. It's important to get the players that have established themselves as first-team players tied up, and then try and improve on them, because that's how you get better.
But we don't want to be a feeder club again, because it's just the worst heartbreak ever. And like watching a player come in, smash it, and then go and do it for someone else. It's just horrible. So I think the things you've just touched on there does show that we are becoming a very stabilised club that ain't here to play games, and we're here for the long haul. And I think that is the most important thing. It's not all about going out and getting all these flash players. When you've got a squad of players that click, work together, and work well, it's more important to tie them down, rather than shipping them on and then replacing them. So that's really smart business by the club, and a few players and Tom Kearney on the way, then they'll be fine then for next season.
Well, I mean, one of the smartest pieces of business in the last 12 months actually has been from Liverpool, bringing in Jota from Wolves, Dolan. I mean, I never thought he had the form that he's had in him this season in his locker, to be honest. At Wolves, I always thought he was a little bit in and out, a good player, but never someone that would go on and play for one of the top teams and be absolutely smashing it. He's the danger man, isn't he, on Saturday?
Yeah, he was good. He was good. He was even good against us at Villa Park. He was one of their better players. But yeah, they've missed him. They've missed him massively. Yeah, obviously Manny loves a goal against Villa as well. He seems to bang them in every time.
He's off form as well, annoyingly.
Yeah.
I'd rather someone come into it on form, in all honesty. Yeah. I don't like when people come in off form.
It was interesting. I was watching the game on Sunday with a couple of Fulham fans, and when they went one up, I was like, well, listen, boys, if you've won the game, we don't come from behind. And they were like, we're Fulham. We are Fulham. And then just 10 minutes, we were like, because they were saying, well, Sunderland didn't win a game all calendar year, and then Fulham rock up and Sunderland beat Fulham at home for the first time in their first win at home in like 12 months. But yeah, listen, I'm still going in there with kind of a take a point mentality. Because
that is your mentality every week. I don't think I've ever heard you not say that.
Especially away from home. I just never fancy us. But yeah, they've got quality players. I mean, they've got quality players all over the place. I just think we can get at them. I think their back four is not on form, and Alisson's been a little bit hot and cold this season as well. So I just think we can. There's never going to be a better time to go downfield. Let's put it that way. There's never going to be a better time to go downfield. They have not won there since mid-December. Haven't scored a goal in so many games. They've lost to Burnley there. They've lost to Brighton there. They've lost to Fulham. Everton beat them for the first time in 20 years at Anfield. You got to go there and take it and try and get the 3 points, and happy days. But it's still a tough game, mate. They've still got quality.
With that in mind, then let's go in with the final segment. It's the what's the score, Nathan Dawe segment. What do you think the score is going to be on Saturday?
I'm going to go for 2-2.
2-2. Nice. Dolan will take that. Dolan will take that all day.
It's going to be 2-2 with Watkins and Trez.
Nice. I mean, Dolan, I haven't got a fancy rhyme for you other than "Don't take the piss, Chris." So, what do you think the score is going to be?
I'll go 1-1. I think we'll get a score draw. I think it'll be 1-1. Yeah, I'm going for a point.
I'm going to predict us to lose, just because every time I do that, it never happens. And also, I just think with all those stats that we've read out, it would just be peak Villa to turn up and get rocketed by Liverpool. But hopefully, I mean, the other thing that we're missing out on this Saturday that we haven't discussed is it's a Saturday 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Yeah.
We have not had one of them all season. Unbelievable. First time, possibly the first time since COVID hit, that we've had a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff. And it's, funnily enough, it's against Liverpool, which you wouldn't think would be one of the games that was put on Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, no, definitely, you're right, man. I actually never. Have we not had a 3 o'clock kickoff all season?
Nah, I'm almost 100% sure. Almost 100% sure.
That's bizarre. So yeah, that'll be weird. It'll be interesting, mate, for the team at 2 o'clock instead of 4:30, 5:30, or whatever it's been all year. But yeah, it's like I say, it's a tough running, and if being realistic, I can only really see us maybe getting another 8 or 9 points on the board. But I called it about 2 weeks ago. I was saying, anything around 52 to 55 points would be an incredible haul for the season.
That's doable. It's doable.
I think it's doable. I mean, where are we now? 44. Can we get another 10 points on the board? Yeah, possibly. But still great stats. 113, drawn 5. I mean, even a few of those losses. Again, you look at the season. It's been a great season. But hindsight, you look at Newcastle away. You look at Sheffield United away. You look at Burnley away when we were playing some outstanding football. You could easily add another 7 or 8 points on that now, and we're pushing top 4.
Yeah,
so
I think that is the frustrating thing. We could be West Ham. That's the annoying thing, I think.
Yeah.
That's why people are a little bit uptight at the moment, because I think there is an element of frustration, isn't there, Nathan? That as well as we're doing, there has been some poor results recently in games that we should have done better in.
It is like that. When you watch West Ham and you're thinking how much fun their fans are having right now, there's a bit of jealousy because we were playing as well, if not better than them.
We were that team.
And that should have been us, not them Claret and Blues. It should have been us. So it's like, I understand the frustration, but we also had to be realistic and, realise that if it wasn't for a point, that we wouldn't even be sitting here today talking about playing Liverpool last season. So for me, you have to remind yourself and humble yourself at times and be like, come on, let's be realistic now. A top 10 would be absolutely brilliant. But I understand the frustration because you're thinking we could be really pushing for that top 4 spot, which would just be like dream come true stuff for us. I think it would feel like the way Leicester felt when they won the league if we managed to pull that off. That's why it's frustrating, because we genuinely had the talent to do it, I think. And Dolan has just highlighted them 3 pathetic losses really that we should have won. And that's where it's frustrating, because you think there's 9 points there straight away, 7 points that we could have just leapfrogged into that top 4. So it's frustrating, but let's not try and end the season on a sour note and just enjoy, the last quarter of the season.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed that's what happens. I mean, before we go, let's just say about our little competition that we've got going with our sponsors. Luke Roper, you will have the chance to win a Crunch t-shirt. It's part of their performance wear. You can see it at the moment. I've got their performance wear on, and they've held a gun to my head and told me to say that this performance wear, it really, really is top notch. I'm only joking. It actually is top notch. I can vouch as to my fellow athletes that their performance was really good to work out, and I've been doing my PT in their performance gear all week, and it's really, really comfortable. So yeah, it's worth winning the Crunch t-shirt if you can. All you got to do is like the post on Instagram, follow the Villa View on Instagram, and follow Luke Roper on Instagram. And if you want to spend 59p and buy Nathan Dawe's single as well, that might, if you can prove you've done that, that might stand you in good stead. You might even have even more chance of winning. Dolan, if he's allowed to come and play, might be on the post-match on Saturday. He's not sure. Is that not?
Depends on the weather. The missus wants to have a day out, so because we reopen on Monday, so back to normality on Monday. So the missus wants to have a day out, and happy wife, happy life. So it looks like it's going to rain, which is good.
Not signed off yet. Not signed off with this.
I might be able to stay in and crack a few cans open and watch the match and join you for a beer. So
we'll see what happens. A special guest on Saturday as well. Everyone's buzzing that Line of Duty's back. I might well get his rank wrong here in the programme, but we've got DCI Buckles. I've forgotten his real name. I'm just going to call him DCI. Nigel Boyle. Going to come on the show and join us on Saturday after the Liverpool game at 5 o'clock to talk about, hopefully, a Villa win at Anfield. Thanks ever so much for joining us tonight and watching the show live. And thanks to Nathan as well for joining Dolan and myself. I'm sure he'll be off now to FaceTime Tom Kearney, his agent, and say, look, I plugged him. I put a word in. I'm going to get in that move. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Get your eyes peeled on Tom Kearney to Villa. Thanks ever so much. Only one thing left to say. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.